My name is Daisy Cisneros.
My name is Alexis Martinez.
And I am Leslie Sierra.
Today we will be teaching you on how to properly tie a tie.
The overarching goal of this video is to teach employees how to successfully tie a tie in under 2 minutes with no errors. In order to become a master at tying a tie, we recommend that you correctly tie the tie 3 times in a row with no errors.
In addition to this, we will also be showing you some tips and tricks on how to properly choose a tie.
Okay, so tip number 1 for tying the best possible tie. First, you need to get to know your tie. Become familiar with the lining, the look, the feel. Keep in mind that different kinds of ties have different kinds of textures, and each texture suits a person differently. So pay attention to the stitching, the appearance, and what you think best goes with your body composition. Tip number 2, make sure that you pay attention to the measurements of the tie itself. So like the width, the length. You obviously, if you're a shorter person, you don't want the tie to be all the way down to your knees. And if you're a taller person, you don't want it to stop right here. So pay attention to the look and the width of the tie itself. So you don't want it to be too wide if you're a thinner person, and you don't want it to be too thin if you're more on the big side. Also keep in mind the tie should not fit tight, it should not be choking your neck, and it should not fit like a necklace. Make sure it's not too loose. Now for tip number 3, the textures. Pay attention to the kind of material your clothing is made of so that you pair it with the opposite material on your tie. So if you're wearing a fleece sweater, kind of like what I'm wearing right now, wear a wool tie. And if you're wearing a business casual suit, pair that with a silk tie. The difference in textures is what makes the tie pop out of your outfit and makes you look more put together.
Okay, so tip number 4 is going to be on matching the colors of your tie. For instance, since I'm wearing a striped shirt, I wouldn't want to pair it with a striped tie. It's important not to mix patterns or different styles. So if I was picking a tie for myself today, I'd probably pick a solid color tie that doesn't overwhelm my outfit. Okay, so tip number 5 may seem a little cheesy, but it's also very important for you to look at yourself in the mirror. It's important to take into consideration the frame of your face. Also, if you have dark hair or darker complexion, it's recommended to wear a bright tie that will pop out. Or if you have fair skin tone or lighter hair, wear a darker tie that will go with your outfit. And if you have more similar hair and skin tone, like if they're both on the darker side, it's recommended to kind of contrast with your skin tone rather than your hair, since typically your hair will fall more with your tie. Okay, so tip number 6 would be to also take into consideration the event that you're going to be wearing the tie to. For instance, if it's maybe like a wedding, you're gonna wear something vibrant or floral, something that's exciting, but you may not wanna wear one of those ties to a maybe more serious event, like if you're attending a funeral or a job interview. You wanna keep it more basic colors, basic patterns, nothing that's too flashy.
So also just remember, when it comes to ties, to try to stay classy. A lot of the latest fashion trends have a lot of different styles, and you want to make sure that it is the focal point of an outfit, but it's only an accessory and it shouldn't pull the focus away from you. Okay, so for tip number 8, just keep in mind what you're wearing. If you're going more for a casual look, don't wear a tie that's too formal. You want to keep it simple, keep it casual, and try to do more of a simple look with a classic tie over a plain t-shirt so that it doesn't mismatch the look.
Okay, so here are a few examples of different ties that we have. As you can see, there are different patterns and textures. These are just a few examples to go along with some of the tips that we already discussed. Okay, so based on the tips that we just discussed, we're now going to try to decide out of these ties which one will go best with Daisy's outfit. So we have a variety of ties. We have this blue silky pattern one. We also have a really fun floral tie. Then we have two other ties that are more simple patterns that can be used more with like a business professional look. But considering Daisy's outfit, she is on the business casual side. We do have just some black pants, but they're not slacks. Then we do have just some flat shoes. And then we do have a collared shirt, and the sleeves are also 3/4. So still in the business casual category, not business professional. So I'm thinking out of these ties, we can have a little bit of fun and make it the outfit a little bit interesting and add some pop to it with this floral tie. So now we're going to start actually practicing how to tie a tie. So first things first, you want to wrap the tie around your neck, and you also want to start measuring to make sure your tie won't drop too low or it won't sit up higher. Next, now once you already have your tie aligned, you want to grab the wider end of the tie and cross it over the thinner end. Next, you're going to take that same wide end of the tie and loop it behind the thinner tie, and you kind of want to make this part a little bit tight, that way the tie doesn't fall through in the end. So once you've tucked it behind the thinner end again, you pull it all the way over, and I suggest that you leave your thumb sitting right here because you're going to need that in a second once we loop it through. Next, you're going to take the wide end and you're going to pull it through this little loop that we have here at the tie. Then you're going to take the end of the tie and wire it through where your thumb was held. Now that you have the tie in place, all that's left is to hold it under. That way you can adjust the tie as needed. Okay, so once you have adjusted the tie, the last step is going to be to adjust your collar to go over the tie. That way it will complete your outfit.
Hey y'all, thank you for watching.
We hope that you use these tips and tricks and you're able to keep these in the back of your mind in the future, and that you also now know how to properly tie a tie. Bye.
Bye.